Hi friends, welcome to the next video. Hey man, I really want to thank everybody for sending the super thanks and writing in. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much, and I'm happy the videos are good for you. So today we're going to talk about the mechanic's car. Have you ever heard that expression? The mechanic's car. Now I've experienced this a lot actually. I have friends who were mechanics, and I've had cars all my life. I don't own a car anymore though. I haven't for a long time, and it's such a relief. Anyway, my friends that were mechanics that had cars, obviously, they never had like a fancy schmancy car with all these electronics and crazy gadgets and stuff like that. They went for the cars that they knew were going to get them, for where they wanted to go. It's very interesting because I always thought, wow, as a mechanic, you can do your own repairs, you can have a great car. They don't care about that. What they care about is the functioning of the car, the mechanics of the car, and how it makes them feel to be in a car that's going to work, one that they've maybe even worked on and can work on, right? They can be a part of the car's history, of the car's life. Now, why am I talking about this? Because, my friends, drumming, a mechanic's car, a drummer's drummer. You've heard that expression, right? I feel kind of sad for guys that don't know that expression, that don't know what a drummer's drummer is. What exactly is that? Okay, let's tackle that. A drummer's drummer is someone who can function as a musician at a very high level. Okay, that's a drummer that can play rock, pop, jazz, Latin, all these things that kept a working drummer working, right? Now, depending on your region, of course, you're gonna have to know different things to keep working. I don't think knowing a lot about the whatever music from Turkey, maybe that's not gonna help you if you live in the Midwest of the United States. I don't know. Maybe it will if you get involved with the Turkish community and something like that. I mean, but the point is that to be a drummer's drummer, you have to have the inside knowledge of how this whole thing works, what the drum set is all about. Now, I know this is a lot of generalizations and stuff, but the metaphor is very interesting because if you think about it, when you think about it, all these things are going to control the path you take when you confront studying, right? If you are a young guy and you want to study drums, it's such an immense world. Where do you start? Where do you even start? Back in my day, get off my lawn, you kids. back in my day, this was never even kind of a question. You just studied all these things because you want to be a working drummer. I remember seeing on Modern Drummer magazine, and the guys on the cover back then looked like normal people. Guys had a tie on and a suit, and they looked like the guy next door or whatever, And so much of that has changed. Like the working drummer, what is that anymore? I don't even know if that's existing anymore. Now, I know a lot of guys that are out there gigging in different styles, and I know a lot of guys that play amazingly well, and they're stuck doing like top 40 and whatever. I mean, that's still working. You're still playing drums, okay? The thing is to keep working. I think that's the key. to keep playing. You want to keep playing no matter what comes your way. That's the mindset that I always was told as a kid. You always want to keep playing, no matter what the gig is. If you have to go to the moon to play, that's where you're going, right? If you got to play Chinese music, then you better know how to play that, then make the money, right? Now, some might think this is a cold way to approach drumming, especially if you take a kind of artistic approach, if you only want to be a certain kind of drummer. But I think it's important to talk about because we're like switching eras. The eras are shifting, especially after the pandemic now, and I see a lot of the stuff that was here before is no longer here. And even this whole YouTube thing is a new thing for individual musicians, right? Where you have a channel and you come to express your ideas about music, and if somebody wants to see what you're all about, they can come here and check it out, right? I mean, that's a new era. I remember years ago, there was a musician's contact service. Oh my God, in LA, where you would go to this office and there'd be folders, a room full of folders, and you'd search the folders for musicians, and people had a tape, a cassette tape, and their picture, and you could listen to them playing and stuff. Wow, oh my God, I'm so glad those days are over. But yeah, you had to pay for that service to meet other musicians. And actually, I got some work from that. I decided to join it, and I got some work, and it was meat and potatoes work. Bars, rock bands, blues stuff, here and there, different cities. I mean, a mechanic's car. You're working all the time, never stop. You like the process. You know what the process is, so you keep going and going. You tweak that car, you make it a little better, you do this. If something breaks down, you work on it. The mechanic's car. I don't know if people have that concept in mind anymore. Now, I know there's a lot of guys in universities and stuff. Well, maybe there's not a lot, I'm not sure anymore. I've gone to a lot of drum schools and private schools, but I'm not sure how many guys are at North Texas State, for example. And I'm sure they get guided well. But for the cats that are not, which is the great majority, I think, that cats that are not in a university, it's important to talk about these things because there used to be a drumming community. Do you remember that at all? When you met another drummer, it was like suddenly you met a friend, a long lost friend. You were like instantly friends. Oh, drummer? I know, it's weird, but I don't see that anymore. I see a lot of jealousy and competitive stuff and weirdness. And that is super bizarre to me. I never function that way. I've never functioned that way. I see another drummer and I still kind of think, of course it's a little different now because I'm older and not that much older, but this chasm between the drumming cultures is very apparent to me. So if you're out there, and even if you're an older guy and wanting to play, I have a lot of students that are older cats, in their 40s or whatever, and they want to play. They still want to play, and they're asking me, what should I do? I say the biggest chance you have of playing, of making a career in music, okay? Like the biggest chance, well, let's say that you want to take out the element of chance and you want to give yourself the most opportunities you possibly can. Like cast a wide net, is to have the mechanic's car. Something that functions in all areas, right? Something that you have a process with. If it breaks down, you fix this. You don't avoid, oh my, whatever, I can't do, for example, 5-stroke roll. Oh, I gotta work on it. Don't ignore it. Just go and work on it. Like, get in there and dig in and get your hands dirty, and, in a few weeks, it'll be better. Or with, for example, some style that you're not working on, or some independence thing that in the back of your mind, oh man, I really have to work on that. Why aren't I working? Get in there and get your hands dirty, man. That's casting the widest net. Leaving things to chance, I think, is to play only one style. Now, you might play that style real well, but man, that's a big risk with your career. That's like saying, I don't know, I want to bet my life on one thing, or putting your eggs all in one basket. You guys know what I'm talking about. It's a risky thing. So I've always been of the mindset. Luckily, the guys around me always said this to me. They said, man, you gotta play. You gotta be a pro drummer. You gotta be someone who functions in music. I never had this thing where I had to do one thing or have long hair, or So it's just interesting as a concept, because it affects how you're going to study. It affects how you're going to practice, and your goals in music and your goals in life, which is, it's like a river, man. It's just, you have one idea and it just plows down stream, and you have all these decisions to make. Okay, so my best advice at this point, if somebody wants to get into drumming, would be get the mechanic's car. Okay, I hope that was helpful. I hope that was amusing, and most of all, helpful. And remember, if you want to join the lesson site, we're there for you. Only $200 gets you in the full year program. I am there for you. I do private coaching, email support, video support through WhatsApp, etc., etc. Okay, cats. Thank you again for watching, and see you soon. Peace.